Hi, my name is Jan Benham, founder and CEO of the Aroma Shoppe and the Institute of Aromatherapy. Today I'm going to be talking about and demonstrating how to make a pressed foundation. Now, some of you who receive orders will probably be receiving some little thank you cards which have recipes of how to make a foundation. What the Aroma Shoppe has started to offer is some base white powders that are pre-mixed with rice powder, oat silk, zinc, magnesium and silica and so on. And we've made two, one that doesn't contain titanium dioxide and one that does. We have also started offering pre-mixed foundation bases, which are the pure oxide bases. And we've come up first of all with four that are the most useful and the most common. So we have one called Earth, which is good for cool tone skins with a little bit of a tan. And then we have Desert, which is a good color for warm tone skin tones. Then we have Canvas, again good for cool skin tones, and Mustard. Then we also work with Imperial Citrane mica, which is a very good matte mica, which also works well if you want to add a yellowing to your foundation base. Now remember, these are concentrates, so they're not going to go on the skin like that. They're going to be mixed with the white powder. So I'm going to demonstrate how to make that first, and I'm going to do one specifically for myself because I need a pressed foundation. So this is, I thought at the same time, while I'm making myself one, I might as well show you how I make it. So first of all, we need, the tools we need is a coffee grinder, and then we need a mixing container for mixing the powders. We need measuring spoons, and we have a number here of measuring spoons from 1/4 teaspoon down to a smidgen and a drop. Quite funny names, these. Then you need your pressing tools and your pressing clips and of course your finished pods and what have you. And last but not least, you need, I've got pressing ribbon here that I use all the time and wash each time. And then you need a pressing medium. And today I'm going to work with dicaprylyl carbonate, but I often use Naturderm IL. So let's get started. So the basic formula for making one of these foundations is 3 teaspoons of a pre-made foundation base. So this is a base. This is one that contains titanium dioxide, and it's a base with rice powder, oat silk, zinc oxide, magnesium stearate, mica, and titanium dioxide. So I'm going to be putting 3 teaspoons into the pot here, and I'm going to go fairly heaped here. So I'll show you how. So I'm starting with 3 teaspoons. Now this I'm making for myself, so I'm not being over particular about the measuring. And then you can do anywhere from 1/4 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of a pigment. For myself, I'm going to use Earth. Now it's quite a dark one, so I'm going to just try with a 1/4 teaspoon and pretty not too. This is a 1/4 teaspoon, and I'm going to just pop it in the pot. Now, because I'm pressing a powder, I want it to be lighter than my skin tone because it goes darker once it's pressed. So I'm just going to take a look here and see if the shade. Now normally I work with a mask on as well, but for these small amounts I'm not worried. So this color is quite light. If I was going to make this color to apply as is, because it's a ready-made mineral foundation, then it probably would go slightly lighter, but actually it's pretty close to my skin tone, so it's a pretty good one. So putting this aside now, to make the pressed foundation, I'm just going to add my formula from here into this container here. So now I have my basic mix with the white powder and the pigment base. So I'm going to use dicaprylyl carbonate as my medium, and I'm just going to put a few drops in here, not very much, you don't need a lot. I'm going to take my glasses off. I can see much better with my glasses off. And what you're looking for here is a dry sand mix. So it kind of is clumpy, but not, you don't want it too wet, else it can lead to difficulties when you're pressing. If you find, for beginners, as a pressing ribbon, you could use a paper towel, which will soak up the excess liquid, the excess oil, so you get a nice press. So it's coming along pretty clumpy there, you can see. Now if it's not clumpy enough and you find that when you press it into your tin pan, this is a tin pan, 59 mm, then you can always take it out and add a few more drops of the pressing medium. So I'm just going to add a couple more drops, not too much, because it's pretty close. Yeah. So you can see here it's pretty clumpy. See? Right. So now I'm going to add this to the tin pan. Yeah, it's pretty wet, but I think it's going to be good. And then I'm going to use my palette knife to push it down into the palette. So you can always add a little bit more if you wish to. I'm not really, as I said, this is for myself, and I am experimenting a little bit here, so I'm not looking for absolute perfection at the moment. But you just want it to be pressed well down, and you can use an excess. If you have any excess there, you can press down into that as well. Okay, so there we have it pressed down into there with the palette knife. Now I'm going to use my ribbon, which is already been used, and I'm going to use three pressing tiles, and I use 2 on top and 1 underneath to help save, because I'm going to use the clamps here. I do have a proper press, and that's what I normally use. So I'm just going to push in. Now I'm going to use 2 of these at the same time. If you only have 1, that's okay. You can just go around with your clamp and keep going around until it's well pressed. 2 is easier. So what I'm doing here, I'm just clamping it down, and these press quite a punch, these ones. I'm just going, pressing it and pressing it and pressing it, and they do damage the pressing tiles, so I'm just going to undo them, and then I'm just going to move them around to the other direction and press again. And you do get better at it. I'm out of practice now because I've been using my pressing tool that I have, which is nice. I'll demonstrate that one day too. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So I'm just going to check and see if it seems to be pressed well. And then I'm going to try it out on my skin. It was a little damp, but that's okay. So there it is here. Probably what I would do now is go over it with a paper towel and just take out some of the dampness and repress it again, which will leave a nice little pattern on it. I often use lace that I get from a shop and cut it up to get some nice patterns on my finished makeup. So I'm going to check the colour to see. You want to see if it will fall, and of course it'll be a little bit come up, but it's pretty solid in there. So I do hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please get back to me if you have any questions, and look forward to the next one. Bye for now.